The action by the GRA demonstrates the current challenges facing most oil firms in the country. This has compelled the Ghana National Petroleum Authority to review the licensing requirement for firms. Well, away from that, the prices of Brent crude has hit its highest level in more than 7 years. This particular day, the 18th of January. Now, growing demand of optimism regarding the easing of, COVID-19 restrictions and geopolitical tensions remain some of the issues at hand, having to experience the increase in Brent crude. The commodity hit $86.84 in Asian trade, a level that has not been since the late 2014 in October. But what does this mean for petrol prices in Ghana? We shall help you appreciate what this means in some graphical representation on your screen shortly. But if the price of crude oil continues to surge, then prices of petroleum products will shoot up on the local market in Ghana, consequently leading to the increase in transport fares. Already, we do know that some oil marketing companies are selling petrol and diesel at 7 cedis per litre, respectively, amid a double-digit inflation and its subsequent hike in the cost of living. Also, the government, we do know, will rake in more revenue from export of crude oil, that's improving revenue. Well, to help us appreciate what is happening on the global scale and narrow it down to Ghana, we have Nana Mwesi VII, Executive Director of the Institute of Energy Security, joining us via Zoom. We're grateful that you could join us. Of course, we're seeing various factors influence Brent crude, the price of Brent crude on the global scale. Here in Ghana, we're seeing some OMCs already picking its particular price. Where do you stand when it comes to your analysis at the IS regarding what's happening on the geopolitical scene?
Thank you, and thanks for having me, Charles. As you have recounted yourself, on the international markets, we are seeing two things happening. First, we've seen a squeeze in supply of crude oil and also a demand for fuel, and that of crude oil. What is accounting for the falling supply of crude oil is one, OPEC members are struggling to pump at their allowed capacities because of underinvestment or outages. One of these outages was seen just a few days ago when an Iran group attacked a United Arab Emirates oil depot. Then also we see tension between Russia, a major crude exporter, and Ukraine. And so these issues are accounting for the squeeze in oil supply. But in all this, we are also seeing demand for crude oil and finished products, because comparing the first wave of COVID-19 to Omicron, you don't see any form of restriction. And so there's mobility, and also with steam production still going on compared to what we experienced during the first wave of the COVID. Supply chain not seeing any significant disruption. And so there's high demand for fuel and crude oil on the world markets, while there's falling supply of same commodity. That's what's accounting for this. And all this geopolitics has been priced in by the markets. That's why you see crude price going up, because demand is, overshadowing supply.
Of course, and what's happening on the global scale will definitely have an impact here in Ghana. We've seen some OMCs already sell a little petrol, at 7 Ghana cities at their various, pump stations. Help us understand the factor of deregulation amid what's happening on the global scale.
Well, when we talk about deregulation of the downstream market, we're saying that, yes, there is a free room for supply of these products, where many parties can bring in oil, just like some oil refinery will pump oil or refine oil. Other groups can also bring in oil. So supply has been deregulated because for many years it was Todd that was handling that. Also, price has been deregulated to allow market forces to determine what price should be. So we are done with the era of subsidies. So realistic price will be charged at the pump. And today, we are price takers of this oil, because almost every fuel we consume as country is imported. And definitely whatever happens on the international market will have bearing on our local markets. We use the cedi, we use the dollar to procure this commodity from the international market, but we sell these products also in cedi. So there is a forex exposure of which will also affect the price of oil on the local markets, particularly when we are seeing depreciating of the cedi against the dollar consistently. And so when these importers, being the BDC, bring in the oil, they will factor in the international price, the freight cost, the cedi or the forex risk, and sell it to the OMCs. And the OMCs will definitely pass it on to the consumers. That's why we've seen price of local fuel going up once more.
At the end of it all, the consumer is the very end of the value chain. They are benched to suffer the brunt of any particular implication, be it an upward adjustment or a lower adjustment. Help us also appreciate the analysis on the need for some buffers to, of course, shore consumers against the windfalls of pricing on the global market.
Beyond the windfalls, we have existing buffers to cushion us against supply and price shocks. Unfortunately, this system or mechanisms are not working. Oil refinery is not working. The BOS system that needs to hold strategic fuel stock for us to manage the price and supply risk is also not working efficiently. So, in fact, we are left to our own fate. And the good news is that because what we are seeing on international markets, the price we are seeing today, close to $85 per barrel as of this morning, compared to our benchmark price for our crude oil sales, government will, of course, make some windfall because the price that we pegged, we estimated that our crude oil that we produce in Ghana will sell on international markets is far lower than what is being recorded. So it means that we're going to make some gains from there. Maybe government will look at this windfall and probably temper with the taxes and levies on a litre of fuel. We've seen the freezing or the suspension of the price stabilization and recovery levy. But there are other margins, levies, and taxes that government can also hold brief or suspend or remove just to cushion consumers. Maybe government will want to consider that. We'll
see how that goes. But Nana Mercy the 7th, we're so much appreciative of your analysis on this matter. He's the Executive Director of the IES there.